Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today I want to talk about high-speed travel across the galaxy. In patch 2.2, a new mechanic was introduced with the updated neutron stars and white dwarfs, and this mechanic allows you to get an overcharged FSD, enabling you to have a significant boost in your jump ranges. Now, the mechanic to do this is fairly interesting. You have to fly into the cone of the neutron star, the ejection cone, as you can see here in Commander Exo's video. Your FSD then gets overcharged, enabling you to have a significant jump. You can see here he's about to do a 222 light-year jump. If you want to check out the entirety of that video, and I highly recommend that you do, check out the link in the video description below. That video was filmed during the first section of Beta 2.2, and the boost conferred by the neutron stars was a 250% jump improvement. Now, Frontier was very quick to jump on that and say it was actually a mistake they'd added an extra 0 on, when in fact the boost improvement should have only been a 25%. Many people found that a little strange because the act of getting the improved boost of flying through the ejection cone there does damage a ship and potentially could be a ship destroying. So the improvement of 25% seemed negligible at best. After an extensive conversation then between the community and the Frontier developers, Frontier went away and debated this internally, and what they come back with was that they would confer a boost of 300% on neutron stars and a boost of 50% from white dwarfs. This seems to be a winning scenario. To be clear though, players never wanted fast travel. They were never asking for instant travel across the galaxy here. What they wanted was to inject some excitement and some risk versus reward into exploration and long distance travel. This game mechanic seems to be an answer to that. Frontier, however, have said they never intended that with this particular mechanic, and all they wanted to do was just add and inject a little bit of intriguing usage to these stars. But they certainly seem to be coming round to the idea and considering the gameplay from an angle that they hadn't originally thought of. All that said, Sandro Samarco was very clear to say that although Frontier have increased these ranges to 50% and 300% on the various stars, there's no guarantee that this is where they will stay at. They could dramatically increase, or they could always revert back to 25% again. It will depend how testing goes, and he did ask for players to go out and test this mechanic. And that is exactly what forum user Kestrel has done. In fact, he's done some really extensive tests over a distance of 500 light years to Maya. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of these tests, do check out his forum post. I'll link it to the video description, and it's very detailed and really goes into a lot of good explanation as to why even a 300% boost doesn't seem to be all that effective. What it comes down to, the bottom line, is that his unboosted time to Maya was 11 minutes and 21 seconds, while his 300% boosted time was 12 minutes and 15 seconds. So basically the bottom line is that the boosted journey with 300% increase in jump range actually takes longer than a regular journey. And there's a reason for this. Firstly, you've got to align within the ejection cone from the neutron star. Secondly, you've got to then plan your trip on the galactic map, and that actually takes a while because you've got to pinpoint a system at the exact distance that you want, preferably one containing a neutron star. This all adds time. And then of course you've still got to fuel scoop just as you would in the regular journeys. So this will need further testing yet, and Kestrel has asked for other players to work with his data and then go out and test for themselves. Now personally, I think this is a really exciting development. It's something that adds new gameplay into Elite, and it's something that adds a higher risk versus reward element, something that explorers really do need, and of course pretty much anyone can use this. So the more testing this gets, the more feedback that Frontier actually receive on this, the more likely we're going to get this correctly balanced and to achieve something quite nice. Speaking of which, Commander Eramus of Distant Worlds fame has taken this idea and really ran with it. What he's come up with is a concept that has been spoken about before previously by others, but he's calling it the Neutron Highway Grid. What this will be is a project where players will go out and map neutron stars between a start point and an end point, for example between the inhabited bubble and Jacques Station. The neutron stars would be mapped at correct distances to enable high-speed travel between these two locations. To ensure though that this doesn't become a simple fast travel, it really doesn't need to be a high-risk scenario with a very real possibility of ship destruction. Now that should be included in any tests that anyone tries. Check out how much damage is actually caused to your FSD, your modules as well as your ship. Frontier are very keen to receive feedback on all of this, so I will put a link to the official forum thread in the video description below, where if you do go out and do any tests, you can leave your feedback there and be quite safe in your assumptions that Frontier will go and read that. As the game continues to grow and develop, and as new areas of interest continue to crop up in the depths of space, an increasing number of people are going to want to be able to travel to these locations, but it's quite likely they will be put off by the extensive distance and the high travel times, at which point it becomes very likely that their enjoyment of those locations could well rest on a neutron highway, just as Commander Eramus envisions. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.